Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Failure Diaries Podcast, TFD. My name is Ayo Bankole, I'm your host, and I'm here with
Precious Kate, I'm your co-host. And on this space, we uncover struggles, setback, lessons from every success stories we listen to. And today we have an amazing guest, guys.
Yes, we have the co-founder and CEO of SoFresh, Mr. Goke Balogun.
Yum yum.
Goke is an amazing individual. He has. I can assure you that you would enjoy his stories. He's shared a couple of them on social media. We interact a lot on social media. I know there was a content that we wrote recently that has been all over the place. People have been sharing it with me. Around how young people who start off in careers or jobs that they think is beneath them, some sort of, let's call it quote unquote failure kind of jobs, and because of that they just lose themselves, they don't apply themselves well, and all of that. Anyway, let's start with your own story, and then you shared that story about how you started off in I think it was at Mr. Biggs.
Mr. Biggs,
where you were flipping stuff in Mr. Biggs, and how you then moved to Chevron and got to where you are today. So please tell us your story. I mean, what has the journey been like? What were the major flash points of failure or challenges for you?
All right, thanks Ayo for having me, and Precious as well. I'm really excited to be on this podcast. I mean, it's a very different one.
Yeah,
Failure Diaries.
Trust us to always do
It's
what
not
is different.
how we made it, success. This one, so it's interesting.
From grass to grace.
Yes. So my journey, I also came from humble background. My parents were lecturers. By the time I was finishing school, my dad.
They were humble.
What is humble? What is humble? Oh, please, let's know what we are doing. What is humble in lecture?
Please, let's be focused.
Both of them.
Both of them are lecturers.
Both of them are lecturers. In those days.
In those days, it was not really a glamorous job in those days.
It's still not
right?
glamorous.
Yeah.
Neither is it humble.
And they were not teaching the university, right? They were actually teaching in the College of Education, both of them. So it was like the third level, anyway, that was my, growing up. And then by the time I was finishing school, my dad had been retired. And so it was only my mom that was working. So there was not
You
a
were
lot.
already lecturers when you were a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was not a lot, at home. So when I finished, thankfully, I think I faced my studies a bit. I came out best student, in my class, graduating class. Almost made the first class.
I need to work on my life.
Almost made the first class, but didn't make it. So by the time I finished, of course, we're all looking for a job. And the first job I got was as a restaurant supervisor in Mr. Biggs. And, all my friends were like, Goke, you're the best student, brilliant. I should not take that job.
Yeah.
We all had dreams to work in. My dream then was working like Cadbury, Unilever, in the industry, but they weren't forthcoming. I've even done interviews, PwC, all of that, but none came. And then this one came. I'm like, I beg, let me just start. So
let me
I took the job. Was posted to Ibadan, and I probably did the hardest work of my life because it was a 16-hour job.
Wow.
And yes, it was working from 6:30 to like 10:30. Then supervisors didn't used to work shift, so it was a very tough job. Interestingly, that was around the time Mr. Big started our franchise program. So they had not finalized who was going to pay what. So I didn't even get paid for the first 4 months.
You don't mean it.
It was my elder brother that
So how are you going?
It was my elder brother that was sending me, money for going transport.
You didn't add this one to our conversation.
Social media is a short space.
That's
so
why we're on
Yeah.
Failure Diaries Podcast.
my brother sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
My mom will send me
I'm glad that
money.
we're doing this.
Yeah, my mom would send me money for to transport just back and from work, because I was living with an uncle, so I was feeding there. So I didn't get paid for the first 4 months.
For the best graduating student.
Yeah. But I really somehow, I don't know, I actually liked the job because it exposed me quickly to many things. I was doing sales, I was doing business development, I was learning production management, and then I don't know now, that first 4 months I went through a lot of training. USA was big on training, so we're always going for training, just to equip us. And I really put my mind to what I was doing, and in 2-3 months I was very versatile with everything happening in the outlet, that even my manager could leave the outlet and I was going to manage everything. interestingly, of course, I was also applying to other places. I got a job the 4th month when I was there, and they paid us the 4th month. So I
So
got
you
my
got your
salary.
win.
I presented my, resignation letter.
So did they pay you the other one?
Yeah, they paid
Yes,
everything. No,
everything.
they didn't owe me. So they
That's
paid
good.
all the form. I mean, it was just like they had not really agreed
Okay.
between them and the franchises and all of that. So I got my pay. And I really enjoyed that job. It was a very difficult job. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from that job. Managing people. I mean, I was maybe 24, 25 thereabout. And I was managing, an outlet that had, 20, 25 staff,
Wow.
different people, older people. So it was an experience for me. I left there, worked at Coca-Cola, did sales. Something I never thought I was going to do. So I did sales for another 2 years. That also was very challenging for me. I'm a bit on the reserved side, so I'm not an outgoing
Yeah,
person.
because I was wondering how
Yeah.
you would have done sales.
Now I was thrown into the field to go and do sales. So every day I resumed to work, maybe for 1 or 2 hours, had meeting, did your sales presentation, and I was out in the field selling Coke. And it was not basically it was not something that, and sales in Coke is brutal. For me, I call Coca-Cola a sales and marketing company. They are not a production company, because they don't really, the product has been formed in existence for life. It's good. What they do is sales and marketing, and then they push the salespeople. You will think that Coke sells itself. Coke doesn't sell itself.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of push, and that really, pushed me to the brim, doing sales in Coca-Cola. That was the job I didn't like the most. I actually didn't enjoy it. But my mom saw how.
But why?
Because it was high pressure.
Oh.
You have to deliver. Then
Like they were
the
targets.
areas they posted me to were like the interiors. Interesting, I grew up in Ilorin, but these are areas I never visited.
Wow.
So imagine somebody that grew up in Lagos, that lived in Lekki. Now you got a job. They now posted you to
Abule
that
Egba.
part- Exactly.
Yeah.
So I went to
I
all the
mean,
interiors of
shout out
Lagos.
to my guys in Abule Egbado. I mean, I used to live there, so shout out to you guys. Igondo,
So
Egbeda.
I was doing sales and I didn't enjoy the job. It was hard. If you don't meet your target,
Exactly.
it was crazy. And then I was only covering alone. I was covering some neighboring towns. I was covering, Shaki, all those.
Wow.
places.
So
I was
you'd have been traveling, yeah.
But my mom saw how much I didn't like the job. She gave me a car. So I started driving the car to work so I can move around, because I was jumping buses now. I might have like 7 places to visit every day. So I was working
Whoa.
with distributors. So I was going from, taxi to bus, from taxi to bus every day. And after like 1 year, she gave me a car just to ease to ease the stress. I didn't like that job, but it was paying me like times 4 what I was earning at Mr. Biggs.
I was coming there. Yes, thank God
Yes.
you went there
It
yourself.
was
So,
paying me like times, but I was commission if I met my target. So I mean, I took the job, and
How
then
long were you there for?
like 2 years, but I didn't like it. And then, but I did it. I did it with my whole heart, and I think I was top 3 salesperson.
I mean, you
in
don't have to
Ilorin.
like your job to
Yeah.
do it
But
well.
it was paying me.
Exactly.
So far
I
as
was
you've
in-
accepted it.
because I became big boy at home now.
Yes.
I'm talking of 2004. I was earning like 120K, 2004.
Wow.
So I was providing the house now. A month finished, I dropped something at home. So why wouldn't I put my all my all in it?
But that's something youth should, everybody in general should learn. That you don't have to
Exactly.
like
Like
the
your
job
job.
to do it.
You
Just
have to
do
do
it.
it.
Even the first one, I wasn't paying him anything. Well, he was paying him, but
But
They were-
apart from that, is when you put your heart to your job, you pick up a lot of skills. The sales skills I learned, working at Mr. Biggs. Now, later, I never really thought I was eventually going to run a business. But if I had not had that experience running sales, you can't start a business without knowing how to sell.
that's the
Because
first
what
thing
you
you
do
even
anyway.
need to know. Yeah.
Then I left, Coca-Cola, and then I joined Chevron, and that was a different story.
Just calm.
Calm, easy,
Soft life.
soft life. In fact, any day I wear suits to the office now, my people always ask me, "Sir, do you have a meeting? Are you going out?" Because I worked 10 years in Chevron, I never wore suit. I mean, I was working in the field, easy, easy job, good pay. But then again, I think this entrepreneur spirit has been pursuing me.
Yeah.
It was easy, was good, pay was good, but again, I became dissatisfied with the job. I thought that this is not, I don't want to be doing this 10, 15 years from now. Yes, I'm earning a lot of money, but I thought that with the gift I have, with the skills I have, with the drive I have, I can make more impact. So I didn't really enjoy the job. I didn't really enjoy the job I was doing. It wasn't toxic. It was easy. It was paying,
But you just
a
need
lot
was
of money.
more.
Yeah, I needed something more. So by the side, I started SoFresh with my wife. We called it Fruity Veggies then. And round about
Okay, before you left Chevron.
before I left Chevron, so we started SoFresh
So why
in
in
2010.
Chevron you started?
Yeah.
Yes, in 2010, started the business with my wife, and then 6 years. So once I started the business, she left. She was into private. She's a lawyer. She has her own firm, private practice. But she also left. She stopped that like around about the third year of that started business. So she faced the business squarely. Then I left also 6 years after we started. So I left Chevron in 2016, and then came to face the business. And that's what.
So why
I've been
did you
doing.
leave in 2016? What made you leave? Was it that the business had grown or?
So it was a mix of many things. The main reason I left was I no longer found satisfaction with my job, and I thought that there was more to it. Then I looked on the business side. We had now done business for 6 years, and we now had 2 locations, and the demand was growing, and the trajectory was clear. And I thought, if I came back together with my wife and we put all my effort
Yes.
together, we
Together.
can scale this thing, massively. So that was the deciding point. Then, coincidentally, 2016, oil company, they said they wanted people they were looking for people that would leave and they would pay them off. I just willingly submitted.
Collected them.
In fact, I was on vacation. As I had like this, I rushed because you can go to a satellite. I rushed to satellite office, filled the form. I didn't go back to work from vacation.
Wow.
Got my payoff, held the payoff, and then I faced the business squarely.
So that was like a capital injection
Exactly.
with no equity.
I didn't inject it in the business.
Oh,
So what did you do with it?
real estate maybe.
I didn't end in business. I put it in somewhere for it to be cooling off.
Oh, as backup.
As backup, exactly.
Hmm.
I mean, so the business did not need an immediate injection because we have been doing it for 6 years. We had
It
2
was-
locations.
It was funding itself.
Yes, it was funding itself. So I didn't inject into the business at all.
Maybe that
Actually,
was looking at it in hindsight. That was probably a good decision.
that was a very good decision.
Yeah.
That was a very good decision.
Because if you had put in the business and anything had happened at that time, that would have been left you very
Ah,
stranded.
Very stranded, So it was now me and my wife working the business. We didn't have any
Any
alternative.
side hustle, nothing else.
Nothing
yes.
else. 2 kids. Kilo Machele.
Okay, you already had 2 kids
I
then.
already had 2 kids now. So what was I going to explain that?
You can't be telling the school that,
So what was the thing that made you go into, fruity veggie then? What is it? The love for healthy foods? What prompted that?
I mean,
Because
so
it
that
could have
was
been
it.
anything else.
Yeah, so that was it.
And what made you change the name later on?
Yeah.
Okay, so so starting the business was so growing up. I grew up in Ilorin, and we always had access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and that's just something I've always liked. My dad loved fruits a lot. He didn't used to eat rice without vegetables. Tomatoes. He also did his PhD in UK, so he has a bit of that boyish. You always had vegetables. So I just grew up, doing that. Then when I started, when I finished school, I didn't get a job. I was looking for a job, and one day an idea came to me like, how about if I have a store where I could sell fruits and vegetables fresh and all of that. But of course, I was a jobless graduate. I didn't think
There was no
much. I didn't think
capital.
much about it. Then I got a job with Chevron, and then we traveled. We traveled to South Africa for training for 2 years, and for the first time, I actually saw a fruit and vegetable market. So imagine for the first time having lived like 27, 28 years of your life, not seeing, bought, fruit and vegetable in open markets, and then enter a place as big as ShopRite. Then they call it Fruit and Veg City in the in South Africa. Fruit and
Where
Veg
in South
City.
Africa?
Yeah, in Joburg.
Yobo.
Now they are called Food Lovers Market, but then it was Fruit and Veg City. And then I entered that store as big as Mr. Biggs, and the only thing there was fruits, vegetables, all fresh. Things I saw in the book that
Like
look like
farmers market.
plastic. Yeah, like farmers market,
yeah.
but in a very organized, serene environment. And I fell in love with it. Interestingly, I got married while on training. My wife joined me, so we were always shopping.
From the
From Fruit and Veg City. Then we came back to Nigeria and we returned back to Ogba Sunday markets. And there was that difference in experience. So one day we're just talking.
There's
I'm
a
like,
Sunday market in Ogba. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've been there a couple
but
of
now I think
times.
it's every day now.
Oh, is
And
it?
I think it's every day now. But it used to be Sunday market then because we used to live around there. And the one I just said, why can't we create this kind of environment, where we used to shop, where it was clean, it was hygienic. I could find everything in a place. And that was how the idea. So I shared the idea with her. She liked it. And so we just started out selling fruits and vegetables. That was how we started. And then quickly when we started, we found out that customers didn't really patronize us the way we wanted them to, but they were asking for something else. They were asking for the kind of customers we were attracting. Were asking, can we get juice? Can we get salads? We were not doing it. And then we responded to the market quickly. So we started. I didn't even know anything about that. So we started experimenting. Okay, let's get a juicer. Let's get a smoothie maker. Let's cut up fruits together. And that was how we started. And that was what customers.
So it
responded
emerged.
to.
It emerged in response to customer demands.
Absolutely. The first.
That's
the,
very.
the
That's
first
very,
store
very
was just
instructive.
fruits
fruits and
and
vegetables.
vegetable, but it wasn't doing well.
Yeah, I noticed
it
that.
wasn't
I
doing well.
noticed that fruit and vegetable markets in Lagos, in Nigeria, they compete with the open markets.
So two or three things why is the truth is that when you, it also depends on maybe the volume you're able to generate, but it's difficult to compete on freshness with the guys in the open market.
Exactly.
They go to K to my 12 as early as 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Exactly.
to collect fresh produce every day. You buy in bulk and put it in the AC. Sometimes light goes off. That's different.
And
Then the second is cultural. Yeah, cost of running. So your pricing, even if you price. There are times that we price the same thing with the open market, but because you could negotiate with the guy in the open market, people still kind of connect more to that. So that was how the SoFresh part of it evolved. So the first, we called it Fruity Veggies. You can imagine I named it after my favorite South African store, Fruit and Veg City.
Yeah.
So I tried to be a bit slick. I called it Fruity Veggies. But then after I'd done it for like 3 years, the business wasn't doing well at all. We were in Ogba. Technically, the business had failed because we were supporting the business from my salary. From Chevron. Yeah. We were funding the business. And I didn't even know much. I didn't even know that I could be writing it to the depths of the business. In my mind, I'm like, I don't want business to.
Those were directors' loans.
I didn't know, knowledge. I was saying I didn't want this business to make loss. So I would buy things for the business. I will not account for it, So by the 3-year mark, I was tired. I'm like, what's this? Let me just enjoy this money, travel, do vacation, do a few investments here and there, rather than, wasting everything and losing it, in the business. So the business was really not doing well at all for 3 years. And then me and my wife, we had a conversation. Should we close it? Should we not close it? We decided not to close it. But we said before we finally make that decision, we need to do a thorough look of everything we had done in the past 3 years. So we looked at all our data, our sales, customer patterns. And that's why it's important for, businesses to take data, no matter how small it is.
Extremely important.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be big data. Yeah, it's small business. So we looked at, for example, something that emerged was the days we sold, I can still remember the sales figure. The days we sold like 60,000 in a day. 45,000 was sold between 5 and 7. p.m.
Closing
in the
hours.
in
evening.
the evening.
Yeah.
So I was asking myself why, right? And something that should be obvious came out that our customers actually worked on the island.
Hmm.
They were the kind of customers that it was not the people that are left at home.
Yeah.
So when they are returning,
Closing, yes, closing hours.
closing from
That's
work,
when they stop
that's
by
when,
to
that's,
buy.
That's when they stop by to
Exactly.
buy. But some of them will say, "Oh, I'm on Third Milan Bridge, don't close," and all of that. So first insight we got. I just moved to Lagos. I moved to Lagos in 2009. I started business in 2010.
All right.
So I didn't know Lagos, and I was working in Escravos Delta. So I was going 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Oh, so you're not working in
I
Lagos?
wasn't working in Lagos. I was in Escravos. I was in the field. So I didn't really know Lagos. I've been to Ikoyi. I've been to Lekki. If I didn't know that Lekki passed that toll gate, I thought I was where Lekki ended. Because I didn't know. So we started interrogating our customers coming. Where do you work? VI. Where do you work? Ikoyi. Where do you work? Ikoyi. I just told my wife, you see that Ikoyi?
We're going there.
That's where we are going next. That was how we got to Ikoyi. Because all my customers were working in VI, Ikoyi, Lekki, and all. I was like, we are going to Ikoyi. Then the second incident happened. We attended an event in Lekki. And because we paid a lot of money to get into that event, we said, let us raise our prices. I think then we're selling some products for like 300, 400 with a lot of energy. We say, let's sell it for 400. And so let's sell it for 800. So we doubled our prices for that event. And when we got to that event, sold out.
Wow.
And they were not even in Ogba. We used to fight with 300. Why is it 300? Say 250, 250. But here we are in Lekki. What we sold.
Your eyes open that. Poverty is a terrible thing.
Bastard. What we sold at that event was like time 3 what we would normally sell at the store. So that's what I said. Those two. Then we met some customers at that event. I don't want to mention one of them because one of them is a popular family. We met them at that event and they became our customers. And every now and then they will call us to say, come and deliver.
Exactly.
The day they call for delivery, what we deliver to them alone is more than what we sold in the store. If I used to take my Toyota Corolla to go and do delivery, Niru.
Corolla was a starter pack for everybody that year.
Yes, so I used to go and use it to do delivery, and that was how, we were moving to. So when we were going to move to Ikoyi, we thought the business had now evolved beyond fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
We're doing salad, juices, smoothies, all of that. So that was how we said, let's change the name. So, and that was how SoFresh came. And then we changed from Fruity Veggies to SoFresh and changed the focus of the business to, healthy meals.
So you didn't change the name until years later?
It was 2013 when we moved to Ikoyi.
Oh, that you then say, okay,
This is SoFresh.
let's rebrand. This is Ikoyi.
Yeah,
Don't let's carry this.
different.
Don't let's carry this baggage from the mainland.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, we just thought that it captured the essence of the business
Of what you were
better
trying to
than,
do.
Fruity Veggies.
Because then they are, they were not doing the fruits and vegetables like that anymore. They were now, turning it into juices and salads.
And SoFresh
And freshly made.
freshly made
meals.
Exactly.
Meals,
Freshly
yes.
made meals.
So has it then been a jolly ride since then, or has there been other significant failure points?
So did you wish at some point that you didn't collect that money at Chevron, and you just kept working?
Has there ever been that moment?
Yes. There has been some of those moments, and those were these are some of those failure points, right? So I think the first failure point was 2013. I mean, the business was just not doing well.
Exactly.
We have been funding the business for 3 years.
So you had lost money.
Yeah, no, what's it called? No interest, no profits, zero profits, and 0 naira. My wife didn't earn anything. I didn't earn anything from the business. Then when we moved to Ikoyi,
You guys are very calm about it too. Some people would have fought.
Because you still had this
because I had
cash buffer
reality.
now.
I
You had
it
this
didn't even
pot
matter,
of
right?
soup.
That's just true. The loss we were making didn't really matter a lot, right? So when we got to Ikoyi, business boomed. Business boomed when we got to Ikoyi, and that created another different. We were not even more visible.
Yes.
The first headache I got was that then the tax guy knocked one day, and then they calculate, and I not paid the truth. They calculated everything, and and then we found out we're in a lot of
Exposure.
exposure and backlog, and then we navigated that, and then business was progressing well. We did a second location in Ikeja. Then I left work. I left Chevron, and we're doing the business. It was growing. Then 2017, 2018, the opportunities even became more apparent. Then we attracted, foreign investment. And then we got foreign investment 2018, 2019. Sorry, 2018, 2019. And we were on that trajectory. And it was good. And so we had all my eggs in one basket, put everything into the business. And then COVID happened, 2020. And this was just the point where we had gone from 2 to 10 locations in less than 2 years. Yeah, from 2 locations to 10 locations between 2018 and 2020, 2 years. And then, shut down all the business.
Complete shutdown.
Yeah, shut down. We started
My
coming
God.
back up.
So did you have another one on the mainland
Yes.
of the 10?
They say we changed that
Oh.
one, Abi.
Yes, we have
Okay.
no Ogba. No, we closed Ogba.
Oh.
We closed Ogba almost immediately. We opened it. But now I actually have more outlets on the mainland than in Ogba.
Than on the island.
Yeah, no. Then COVID happened. After COVID, you had that Ukraine war. Energy prices skyrocketing. And the truth is, it was not familiar territory for me as a business person. Business has always gone like this. And the truth is, you just don't know what you don't know. So it was a completely different, territory to operate with, very tight margins. Costs were climbing. Cash was constrained. And, when you ask me if I'd ever thought, and then at the point I'm like, maybe I should have just stayed this thing. How much am I even earning from this business? If I was still in Chevron now and I put all my effort, maybe I would have become, some of my friends were already managers there,
Wow.
And so it was a difficult period because business became very challenging. And honestly, for a lot of businesses from that 2020, 2021, 2022, it's been from one bad end to another bad end. So it was quite a difficult 2-3 years. But again, resilience, willingness to learn,
Yeah. To pick it
willingness
up
to pick it up, look at what you're doing well, what could be better. I was just thinking, I was coming here, that when people think about business failure, you think about the business closing down or entering bankruptcy, or maybe they buy it over from you because they're not able to run it. Sometimes those kind of failures may even be better because there's a finality to it. But what about those ones you deal with on a day-to-day basis when you don't have cash, when the business is in debt, when the business is not making money? These are problems that you wake up to every
And it
day.
continues.
And it continues. Doesn't you wake up,
It's
it's still
a
there,
vicious
your sleep
cycle.
is still there, they can be one of the most challenging periods. So yeah, we had those challenging moments in business, but then you just have to brace up. You learn, you seek help, you look at the business all over again, and you rework the internal workings of the business. What I always believe is that for business, there's the internal work you need to do, there's the external work, right? You cannot influence a lot of the external work. In my case, one of the most difficult periods was the external was difficult, but there were missteps we also made internally that now complicate. So it's like 2 times 2, right? So you just have to look inwards. I can't change what's going on in the economy. The inflation is what it is. Exchange rate is what it is. Consumer spending power is what it is. So what can you do within your business? And so we did a lot of internal adjustments to our product offering, our pricing strategy, the way we were marketing, people we were marketing to, and then we kind of go through that period. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I know that you had you shared some stories sometime about the challenge you had with one of Nigeria's leading banks. When you wanted to raise money, But that's just one leg. And then you then mention how you raise foreign capital. Was it easy to get money? What are the challenges you've always had with raising money? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs give up once they apply one place, two place, they are not getting money.
Yeah, the cut-
That
But
bank
you made it
story,
sound like it's very easy.
not that it was. I mean, truth. It was easy in some part, but in another part, it wasn't. It wasn't easy. That bank story. I'm still writing that story. That's why I would tell it fully one because, yes, banks are businesses, and they have their own mandate as well to their shareholders and all of that. But I think that the traditional banks don't do enough to support the SMEs, specifically, SMEs that have shown track record. So let me go back to our, fundraise history. First 8 years, we didn't even need to raise funds. So the first fund we raised was because I participated in a program, and after the program, it was a 6 months program. The investor that supported that program thought, now that we've invested in this guy with knowledge, information, let's see which of them is investable. And that was how they picked us, right? Even in that cohort, I was the only one they picked. So they picked so I didn't really go out pitching for investment, right? Actively. But of course, when they came into the business and they looked at our books, what we had done in the last 8 years, they were impressed. They saw there's a business here, there's accountability here, there's forward thinking here, and then they invested. So relatively, you can say that came easy, but it was also the work or product of what we had done over the last 8 years. And then when we had done that, we invested the money. Like I said, it was that money. I mean, they were shocked because it was not a lot of money. I think the first investment we got in Naira terms in 2018 was 150 million. And we built 10 locations from there. We went from 2 to 10
So
from
that was
there.
what drove your expansion.
That was the expansion. And then by the time we did that, I was just also in a conference in Kenya. I met this investor guy from the US.
It seems Kenya is the place to.
He's a black guy.
They are
He's
sharing
in
money.
Nigeria. We had conversation, and he linked me to his people, and we started the conversation. Interestingly, this second fundraise took it wasn't up to 30 months because in between that COVID happened and all the conversation stopped.
But the first one was how long?
The first one was about 6 months.
Okay.
And
That's
then
for due diligence, just checking.
yeah, just checking. But this one, it was a lot of back and forth. They are more bigger institutional investors. So it was a lot of work. In fact, at a time, I mean, like, you people will still ask me come and to go and submit my dead father because they asked for everything, spoke to suppliers, then everybody that connected to the
But
business.
that weight must have been, the anxiety of
Yeah.
waiting
And the truth is that we were in a tight corner, That was the height of, we were cash constrained, things
You
were
need
tough.
that. You needed that
needed
injection.
it,
Needed
yes.
money, yeah.
It's like a blood transfusion.
But it was tough. It was tough. In the middle of that, we tried to get some relief from Nigerian bank. I mean, these are banks I've now banked with for 13 years.
Yes.
You clearly missing my cash flow. I had not come to you one day to
For
come
support,
for
yes.
support.
And my flows were going through your
Yes.
banking
Through your
And
system.
then 13 years later, I come to say I have this challenge, and it's because of so. And then he started telling me stories. One of the banks offered me something. I said I don't want it. This one I can call my friend to give me, to give me this amount. This is not what I need. I stopped banking with them altogether. They've probably been to my office like 7, 8 times. The only reason why 1 naira of SoFresh should drop in that business is if I'm no longer CEO. It's not possible. That relationship is gone.
Because they didn't stand
I had
up for you.
I had that same experience again. And this was last year, and all of us knew how our last year was. And we'd finished doing another expansion in 2023, and then 2024 happened. Some of the expansion didn't go as planned. In fact, actually 3 of the expansion didn't go as planned. So it was a lot of drain on the existing businesses, right? These are the internal failures that I said you have invested that money. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You wake up to it, you sleep to it, and all of that. And then we also need an injection. And similarly, talk to my banks.
And in
It
all of
was.
this, sorry to cut you, in all
Mm-hmm.
of this, people on the outside do not know because here
Oh,
you are with 10
Yes,
new
yes.
locations,
locations,
and it's like
and
these
you are
people are
just open
balling.
through the
Don't know
You just
what's
previous
open
happening.
year.
through the
Yeah.
It'd be like, no, I must be like so fresh. But
but
imagine what
but
you were
but
going
but
through.
but, the outlets were struggling. In fact, there were times I felt like some of them would not make it. Right, I'm in the outlet, and there was a lot of investment that had gone into it.
Have you ever had to shut down outlets?
Oh, we had to shut down outlets for different reasons. We shut down outlets for poor sales. We shut down Marina. That one was painful because it was COVID. So we had just opened. COVID happened. Marina was a ghost town for almost 1 year.
Yeah.
So we shut it down. We shut down because of facility issues.
But now Marina is bubbling again.
Yeah, Marina is back.
Yeah.
So we shut down. We shut down about 5 to 6 locations for different reasons.
Reasons.
Some was poor sales, poor location. We A location in Abuja, Gwarin Park was just a poor location. It wasn't going to give us anything. After 1 year, we shut it down. Yeah. So I was saying, so last year, 2024, we had some cash constraint, and then the same thing, we reached out to the banks, and it was one story after the other, after the other. They didn't come through, long and short of it. And then one of these new generation fintechs really came through for the business. And
That was a short-term facility or what?
it was short term. It was a year, so it was not long. It was not. It was not too short. It was not too long, but it was substantial. For what can provide that immediate cushion, which was what we needed. We're not even asking for like long term. Like that. But none of the traditional banks were ready to help us out.
That's so
And in case they are
ridiculous.
listening, you're my bankers, but I've said that.
That's very, very ridiculous.
Yeah. So
that's what business owners go through.
yeah, that's
Oh,
what
yes,
business owners go
yes.
through. So yesterday I was also at an event. I was talking to a friend of mine. They've also been in this space, in the food space for a long time. They have about 10 locations, and I really like their product. I think they're doing well. They have an opportunity. I'm asking, why have you guys not expanded beyond what you're doing? The same story, funding. And I'm like, there should be a way to identify businesses that have existed for 10, 15 years and that are doing well.
Yes, now
And
they are doing healthy
So at
cash
least
flows.
check
Yes.
their track records and know that they are
Um,
suitable.
So yeah, that's been my experience with the funding. And from Nigerian banks, it's a zero. I think we've gotten
International.
peanuts here and there.
Yeah.
But in terms of really, funds that could help
Substantial,
accelerate, it's been from either, investors all outside Nigeria. No Nigerian investor has invested in SoFresh, and then one of the new new fintechs has also been really
Wow.
helpful.
Wow. Precious?
Well, I've been in awe. Like listening to you has been, mind revealing because, you are a success story, no doubt. But to think that behind all the glamour and behind all the, there are struggles and hustles that people do not see, which is why I love, which is the essence for this platform, anyways, for people to understand that. Yes, it may look very good, but we all.
You see the branding, you see the fancy, you see
It's fancy, it's good, but so well done. I can't
Thank you,
even say.
thank you,
Well
thank you,
done.
thank you,
So,
thank
what's
you.
the plan for the future? Are you still bent on shuddering this? Is this still something you want to push?
Yes, so it's like this, like the Bible says, you're in the middle of the field already, right? It's like
Exactly.
you've pushed the cart to the middle of the field. It will probably take the same efforts
To go
go
back.
back. Yeah. So
Exactly.
so the
That's right.
and the truth is that like I said, there are times I feel like I don't want to do this, but then you sit down and say, now I've learnt all of this, I know all of this. I'm actually
It can't
a
even be
better.
worse.
Yeah, it can be.
It can be.
I know this, and I know this space better. I have a lot of
Exactly.
knowledge. I can, if this presents itself again, I can manage it better. And what you can do is just okay. I'm going to continue, and you're even in a better position to make more success. So for me, the goal remains the same. we're going to keep expanding, keep building more locations, and providing access to fresh healthy foods for Nigerians across different cities, different locations.
Have you considered exporting?
So for now, no. There was a time we actively thought about it, but the truth is that our 2-3 expansion outside Lagos kind of changed that a bit. Like in the immediate, our focus will be Nigeria. There's still a lot of market,
yes.
right? In fact, I made a post, on Twitter a few weeks ago. If I had to do it again, I'll probably not go out of Lagos yet.
Yes.
So in that 2023, we did 4 locations. The one in Lagos, in less than 3-4 months, I stopped worrying about it. The ones outside Lagos gave me headache for like 18 months, right? So if I'd spent those money, it might not even be that there's no market there, but I needed time to understand. Like our Ibadan location now, it's doing well, but it was a struggle at the beginning because it's a new location entirely that we needed to
the
learn.
dynamics and the purchasing power, the disposable
very
income, everything is different.
In fact, the way you're going to market will be different and all of that. And sometimes for an SME, you don't have all the resources to manage
push,
to manage those dynamics.
It's
To
costing
even,
you so
I
much
mean,
more.
if a multinational FMCG will expand into a different city, for example, they have access to do a lot of research, marketing insight. They know, but you have limited resources, so you want to
I agree.
protect your resources and deploy it to where you get the best
Optimal,
yes, or optimal return. So yes, we're going to keep expanding. We'll keep a keen focus on Lagos and probably expand in the areas where we currently are. And that's the dream for us. I believe in the power of business, especially retail, because retail has the opportunity to generate the largest employment anywhere in the world. Agriculture and retail. I build a retail store, immediately I employ 25 people. Not only do I employ 25 people, I employ close to 70 indirect staff, plumbers, electricians, suppliers, delivery guys, drivers. So it's a way for us to actually grow and expand the economy and provide employment. So for me, it's a journey that it still has a lot of heights to scale.
So just a very last one, because I know that a lot of people who are in your shoes will want to learn this. You and your wife started this business, run it together. There's been school of thought about don't do business with your wife, don't share money with your wife, those kind of things. Right? Has there been any challenges with that? What is the lesson for people who want to do it?
As with anything, human relation, human endeavor, there will always be challenges. This can be particularly difficult because you are combining two very difficult entities together. So you're running business. Ordinary people have problems with their business.
Exactly.
Then marriage,
people
that's also challenging. And then you now combine both of it together. So yes, there will be challenges, and we have we've had challenges. I think what has helped us and what advice I would give is so first is to really be think about your spouse, because your spouse, I'm talking of both sides now. Can you realistically work together? I think many people desire it and they come to us. Actually, many people, I'm like, do you have
people
to?
Come
like
to ask you, right?
Like our friends will say, I've been telling my husband to come and join me. I'm telling my wife, but doesn't want to come. I'm like, why? You just want it because you feel it's good or the right thing to do.
Working for this.
It's working for SoFresh.
Telling people need to be
before you know it, I don't enter physical battle.
People need to be sincere with themselves. Can they work together? Can you tolerate some of it?
Because work mode is completely different from
it's completely different. Even for my wife, our work mode is completely different, but we were willing to learn and understand each other. So I'll say mutual. I mean, it's a whole other podcast, but I'll say mutual respect. Respect for each other, open communication. Talk about what the issues are, what the challenges you have. Be very open. Never let, and they will try it, right? But never let your staff get in between you. I try every information I get, I tell her the same thing. So on that communication part, you must be as
You're on the
open
same
as
page.
Because if
possible.
not, you might start
Yeah.
having resentments for your.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So as a mutual respect, open
Open
communication, and then having clear ideas of what you want to do, vision for the business. Because what you want to do is two people come together with different visions, and you don't talk about it. Along the line, is different. So vision about the business, then vision, clear idea of how you want to run the business. One, in terms of finances, some people want to be able to get, recoup from the business as the business is ongoing. Some persons are, comfortable with let's reinvest, so we are taking it from the business.
Exactly.
All those small differences can cause, a big issue. So just being aligned on what the vision of the business is, how do you want to run this business? You want to, lay all of that on the table. I mean, the other thing I tell people is if you run a business together, make sure each person has a clearly defined role within the business. Never let it be Oga's wife or Madam's husband in the business. Everybody should have a clear role because, people, one of the things that causes resentment is at a point in time, somebody can wake up 4-5 years later and feel like I don't have an identity. I don't have a career.
Exactly.
For
I
example,
did everything for you.
everything for you. For example, my wife clearly had passion in HR, and so she's handled the HR department of the business. She trained, she grew, she certified herself. She's handled HR, and some other parts. So clearly from day one, she had a clear role she was doing the business. And I see her for that. She's an authority in that space.
Yeah.
When she's talking HR, I defer to her, even though I'm the C, because again, one of the things that happens is because you're working together with your wife, especially the guys, you don't want to defer to her on something. If she's an expert in a place, that's like about mutual respect.
Yeah.
Defer to her.
Respect our expertise.
Exactly. Yeah.
You must avoid that bringing head of the home into the business. Interestingly, I know businesses, close friends that his husband and the wife, but the wife is the CEO, and the husband likes operations. So he just focuses on operations and production. I don't want to deal with HR, finance, legal, all those things, So I think people should, know their strength and let everybody play within their areas of strength.
So, it doesn't work for you. Don't go into it.
Don't go into it.
So
That's what I say. You
thrive
can even
in
test
their
it out, right? Test. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not by force. It doesn't mean that you don't love each other or you're not the best couple. It just does not work. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Goke. We've had a fantastic session with you. I especially like your journey and how you've talked us through the multiple hiccups that you had along your journey. I'm very excited, and I hope that if we call you again, you're going to come again. You're always showing up for us. I mean, you're a great man. And meanwhile, both him and his wife, because his wife also runs an HR consulting business. Both the businesses are my clients. So, we're good friends of the house. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You'll be patronizing car chicks to buy a car because that's what I do.
Oh, we can talk about that.
Yes.
Not a problem.
But honestly, it's been really thought provoking having you here. Like having to, your vulnerability on the show is something we admire. To come here and understand that, this show allows you to say everything, the things you've bottled up, the things that don't sound nice. Thank you for just revealing them, and for the insight about working as a couple. That's also something we hold on to. So thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
I hope you have enjoyed the show. I hope you have learned a thing or two. And
see you next time.
And don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, guys. We're on Twitter at the Failure Diaries Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. And Ayo is on Instagram at
Ayo Bankole.
I am Karchik at Karchik _ on Instagram. And SoFresh, all your freshly made food must be bought from SoFresh. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.